What's happening? Benton here. Thanks for joining me. My day off is over. However, I do not yet have an assigned load. I'm hanging out over here at the customer. Shout out to one in the live chat. Perhaps this music holds a secret. Welcome if that is indeed you. So at some point today, I will presumably be I will be assigned a load. However, I wouldn't mind if the pickup wasn't until tomorrow. I wouldn't mind having yet another day off. That'd be all right with me, especially since I got paid today. So there's always that. I've been checking out some of these interesting live streams. I was just listening to Truth or Cop Official from last night. Definitely had a good time with that. There's JG. Let's go ahead and bring on Mr. JG.
Yo,
JG, what's
Ben,
happening,
I just replied to one of your comments on your channel, and they're shadow.
JG, I can't hear you. I don't know if you're talking or if that's a problem on my end or not.
You can hear me, man. You can hear me.
You got some audio there, or am I experiencing technical difficulties?
I'm here.
He muted. I don't know. JG.
Yo, I'm here. You can hear me. Yo.
Interesting. I perhaps I should have tested this before I went live.
Yo.
I believe I have everything hooked up properly like I did yesterday. What could be the matter? All right. Hang on. I think I know what the problem is, JG. Give me a second. Yeah, here we go. Now we got you.
You good?
You're coming in. Yes.
So that middle finger wasn't toward you, by the way.
Oh, I know. I would not be offended by such. Even if you did flip me off, it would be okay. What's up, Rob Brown? By the way,
I replied to one of your comments on your channel, and they're shadow banning me, man. 10 seconds, boom. Replies deleted.
Yeah, did it include any strong language that could be interpreted as aggressive?
Nope, not at all. I posted a comment, got deleted. I posted another comment just saying, "Yo, there no dice. They're delete my my reply." They deleted that. So
I will confess to not completely understanding how YouTube works when it comes to the comments.
Oh yeah, they're on me, man.
You're putting in work on some of these live streams. I was just listening to you on Truth or Cop's live stream from last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, man. You had some good appearances. I got a kick out of that.
Yeah, I sent you a link to Smith & Wesson. This guy, I'll send you the link in the comments, but he shows you the samples of The Shining. So all the samples that they use for The Shining. It's pretty cool. We'll show you the sample, and then he'll mix it into the actual album.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I want to check that out.
Yeah, I'll post that real quick.
Right on. What is that?
Fucking birds.
Got some ocean birds out there?
Yeah. Demons.
Oh, man. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta charge my phone.
Okay, man. Yeah, cruise by anytime, of course.
Right.
All right, brother. That was JG. I have some notes here. One of the things I like about live streaming from the sleeper instead of the as I drive is I can make notes as I go along. Oh yeah, I forgot. See, now that I have notes, shout out to that was Homeless God JG. If anybody caught the last night's live streams. And then also AJ Lloyd had emailed me and wanted me to talk about, since I'm all the time bringing up meditation, I think he wanted more information about meditation. I actually tried to do a pre-recorded video, and I forgot that after about 30 minutes or so, it actually splits it into multiple files on my phone. And then I started thinking about, do I really want to get into video editing and joining this stuff together, and so it was an aborted attempt. Certainly, I know how to do these things, but it's just not always something that I want to spend my time on. The live streaming seems to be the way to go in many cases. I thought maybe I would play. I had some stuff from Yurt's live stream that I wanted to respond to. I was catching up on that this morning as well. Um, maybe some reaction style content. And he's over at In a Thought Experiment. I thought it went pretty well. I will say this, that I was there for probably the first half of Yurt played Tinfoil Straightjacket and chess, and I was there for about the first half of that. And I had said my money's on tinfoil, and I think some people thought I was being facetious, but I am an actual gambler, which does, by the way, the gambling ties in with a comment attributed to Chuck in Tennessee when he had referred to JG. JG claims credit for having overcome alcoholism. Apparently, Chuck in Tennessee is one of these people that's been so-called sober for 20 plus years, and his contention seemed to be that basically this is not something that can be overcome and put behind someone. And I have my own thoughts about that. And then I would tie in that I did used to suffer from compulsive gambling, but that's not something that I suffer from anymore. But as an actual gambler and having knowledge of having spoken to Tinfoil quite a bit in Discord servers and such, I could really tell that he was good at chess. So my money will be on him more or less until proven otherwise. What's happening? Music holds a secret. Good to see you. If anybody has anything they'd like me to go in on, that's always appreciated. What is this on the screen here? Oh, that's In the Thought Experiment. That's not the channel, though. So you search for this stuff, and it just doesn't even show up. I got to actually go to my subscriptions, don't I? Scintillating content. There's a Godgev Lemansky, or however you say that. That's the Crater Earth guy. I enjoy many of those videos. Hamilton Morris, interesting channel if you're into discussions of psychedelics, especially with respect to chemistry of various compounds, psychedelic compounds. In a Thought Experiment. There, he changed his little graphic there. Interesting. Don't remember quite where I wanted to start.
I like it. I think Ken Before the Storm is trying to set you up with Robin here in the chat.
Maybe I don't know who Ken.
And those narratives that easily that they do have to go through that.
This was the end of the tarot reading here.
Pounds in the last 2 weeks. Is that me? Am I?
I fast forwarded through most of the tarot reading, I must say. Not particularly. I'm not opposed to it. I don't practice any of that sort of thing. I am interested in astrology. We will probably get into some astrology at some point, but that may be more of a prepared video kind of thing.
Am I losing weight? Am I gaining weight? I think I've been putting weight on actually in this winter session. But Ken Before the Storm, come on up, Ken Before the Storm. Let's just make peace in all these circles. Blessed are the peacemakers, right, Ken? Can we find the peace?
Well, I would say there's no option of peace in a time of war, but that's just my spiritual war, of course.
Out here?
There's a war going on outside no man is safe from.
Layla, good to see you. I think that's probably my last video. I'm probably wrapping this up, but we'll be doing this
again.
Sure
you're not.
I think there's going to be a general format.
Like another hour after he said that.
Here. No, I'm not at war at all. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Jack Skellington, for saying I'm slimming down. You're cooking but lurking. Well, you're always welcome here, Ken Before the Storm. I know, Drew. I'm trying to get a little bit of the drama going for maybe just a 5-10 minutes. You're seeing a stronger jawline. It might just be the beard. It might just be the beard. No, and I'm not at war. I'm not at war with you or anyone else, Ken Before the Storm. And I know we're all just having a good time out here on these filthy YouTube streets, drama bonding. But all right, if no one else wants to come up and say their hellos or add anything else.
Oh, and real quick, consistent with my handicapping, Tinfoil did indeed win the first chess match. Apparently, there may be more chess matches, but in a blitz, a so-called blitz format. I'm having bad signal here. I'm noticing on the live stream, so may have to switch over to a different internet. Why is the T-Mobile not working? How bizarre. Huh. And will it tell me if I'm disconnected? That's a good question.
I think maybe we'll just call it here. That was nice. We didn't get too deep in the drama. I think that John Wayne is sharing his fortune cookie. It said, the greatest test of courage on earth is to bear defeat without losing heart. Oh, dang. And we got an archaic simulacrums. Very clever play on words. Don't have enough books. I read 25 hours a day.
How's your wife, Björn?
What's that?
How's your wife?
How's my wife? My wife is doing great.
That's good, man.
That's an odd question. It's always an odd question as a married man when another man says, how's your wife? You know what I mean? What do you want to know about my wife, dude? JG's coming for me, audience, dude. He's got his sights set on me. Are you going to do a video debunking me, JG? Where did we go wrong? Tell me where this really went off the rails between us. I thought we had a good thing going.
I'm homeless.
Is that it? Are you just a little mad because you're a little bit of anger about the homelessness?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think my wife doesn't exist? Is that what you were?
Shout out to War by Deception. Good to see you, sir.
Nah.
Oh, you just want to know? Yeah, my wife's good, dude. I got a super cool wife.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it is. Original Moose is eating that chili.
Is she definitely the one?
Oh yeah, but the concept of the one is a little.
I mean, are you 100%
committed to my wife?
Well, by the way, there's no such thing as quote the one. You know, back in the old days, a man got married, and if something happened to his wife, he just went to town and came home with a new wife. You know, if not for this one, then you know there will be another one, right? You know, that's I think a kind of an overly romantic notion, especially as Valentine's Day approaches. You know, this idea of that there's, you know, a soulmate or this twin flames or whatever this nonsense is. It's like, no, you found this person and you know, it's working out and it's worked out and that's probably great. I'm sure it is. But, you know, if not for that person, that there will be, or there would be rather, another person. So I reject those notions myself as well.
Yes, for sure.
Nah, but you don't want to be with anybody else. You found your love of your life.
What an interesting question, JG.
Well, we're men. We always, if we don't want to be with multiple women at the level of our biology, I would say there's probably something wrong.
Hey, when I was young, I knew a couple girls.
It's just completely normal.
I was really cool with. I haven't found a girl that I've been, you know, psyched on in a long time.
I don't think there is like a mystical the one. I think
exactly.
Well, the one, when I say the one is, you know, it's a damn good relationship.
Yeah, we definitely have a damn good relationship. But I also think you got to build that though. You got to grow. You got to go through the hardships. You got to go through the mistakes.
I understand that, but
well, you don't have to. And I think that's what we see in society is that increasingly, you know, people are divorced, or the woman is wears the pants, you know, so-called. You know, and this thing about the notion of most men living lives of quiet desperation. I'm not saying that I'm not applying this to Austin here. Just more speaking in reality of what's actually happening anyway.
You got to find someone you can click with so you can keep it going, you know?
Yeah, we definitely complement each other, actually, in all those ways, for sure. She's actually a lot cooler, calmer of a person. I actually got more of the spirit of my mama than she does. She's probably she's a cooler customer than I am in reality. Yeah, for sure. But
well, yeah, I envy you, man. I pretty much gave up on women.
Yeah, don't do that. You just gotta keep growing, man. That's what I'm saying.
I'm done, dude. I'm done.
You're completely done. Why? What happened with the last relationship was so bad? And our friend Jack Skellington says relationships are about patience, time, and sacrifice, and rainbows are made from rain. Right?
Huh.
Okay.
But what happened? What woman jacked you up, JG?
Every single one of them.
But why? What? So if that's the case,
Anyway.
right? What's your responsibility in that?
I got to know him too well. I figured women out too well, and pretty much just gave up on him. Experience, man, life experience has made me kind of stray away from society.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would, I think there's probably a lot of people who are spending, most of their time, their daily lives, they are not able to escape the nightmare dystopian beast system. They have no choice but to go to jobs they don't want to go to and do things that they don't want to do. I mean, look at JG. He catches a lot of flack on here for his lifestyle and how he's choosing to live. Although we don't really know if it's completely by choice. I guess we're going to take his word for it. But, his time is his own. But then as much as he talks about later on, not wanting to, talking about when he starts talking with Chalk Body Outline about, not wanting to interact with people like that in the physical space, he's still, we should, I guess, or we could recognize that JG is spending a lot of his time calling into these live streams. And of course, he's welcome here anytime. He's already been here. He was here briefly earlier, but there's something to that, no matter how much no matter how much an individual attempts to separate themselves, from society, it seems like, no matter what, the individual must have human interaction. And I'm happy to, if I'm able to contribute in some way, I'm certainly happy to do so. Hang on, I'm trying to bring up the live chat here. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to read the old commentaries here. Read your excellent comments. Mr. McGee, shout out. Razvan, shout out to you. Who is the guy with your? That is JG, sir. Mr. McGee, no one likes to consider what is it about themselves. What is it about themselves that routinely attracts toxic narcissism? That's good. Would you care to expound on that? Possibly. I think I know what you mean, but my own narcissism, I tend to interpret a lot of these comments as if it's directed towards me, even if it's not. And that's something I've recognized within myself.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, what area, and I'm sure you're understanding this, but there's got to be part of you that is, and I just want to shout out, welcome Chuck in Tennessee. Good to see you. He was a guest on the disastrous, and Chuck says almost 40.
Yeah, but isn't Chuck from Tennessee? Isn't he on the other team? Isn't he married to a man?
No, he's not married, dude. How dare you?
Well, no, he said something about fallen slave that was like kind of homosexual. So I figured he was, homosexual. But
I don't know about all that.
Well,
Jack Skellington has a good idea. Would you like to do a speed dating show on here? That'd be kind of nice, dog, right?
I think that'd be a great reality show.
JG dating.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. It's not going to go well.
I like it. I think Ken Before the Storm is trying to set you up with Robin here in the chat.
I don't know who Ken Before the Storm is. I don't know that guy.
Oh, you're unaware of him?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Maybe I should move the camera.
Well, yeah, man, I envy you. That is, if you have a real solid, if you got something special going on, that's great. Good for you, man.
Sorry, guys.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like,
Apologies.
It's not special. It's hard work, though.
I'm going to make love to this park tonight.
All right. That's a big park, dude. That's a lot of love.
Right on the floor, man.
Dude, okay. So you're a free man, man. Don't envy me. Maybe I envy you. I don't know.
Well, it's you could envy me and my freedom, but I also envy guys that found something that I can't find now.
But it's not like a diamond that I keep emphasizing this point. It's not like a diamond that you just like go hunt for and then find. It's
I understand that.
You got
it kind of is, though, because I would disagree in that, a person such as JG has no way to guarantee or to be assured that the other person will actually work towards things. And in fact, what I found at a certain point, I realized that when they say work on things, what that means is that I change and I do better, or I do something differently and she stays the same. Now, that's just a generalized statement, obviously. And I understand it's immediately like, well, you sound bitter. It's like, well, okay, I probably do.
Got to work with a person who will grow and develop, right? It's got to be.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's
Dude, my eyesight, man, I can't really even see. Once I get all this set up, dude, I can't even see. Glenn says you won't find unless you look. Yes, that's very true. I would agree with that.
also attraction. You know, there's also finding someone you're actually psyched on.
Although in my younger days, they tend to define me, I would say. But not that was any great undertaking. I am from Arkansas, after all.
Like I've had multiple girls, like met multiple women where it's just like it ain't fucking working, man. And then they start playing the games, and I walk away. But
here's the trip, though, dude. On attraction, there's layers of attraction. There's all different types of attraction, man. We're like, yeah, there's like the new person attraction, right, which can be physical.
Oh, JG's calling in. Hang on.
Right, but then there's the attraction.
Hey, let's just really go Inception. We'll have JG on here. But then JG, what's happening? JG's frozen. You're frozen. Oh, there you're animated. Do you want to respond to yourself? We're watching your content from last night.
I'm just thinking now how much I kind of hate talking to Yurt. I'm just having that that awakening that he's just I can't talk to him.
Yeah, real quick, sorry to interrupt, but we're about to get to the part where you actually you do kind of call him out on, you call him phony, but to me it's more of like a facetiousness, like he's facetious, which I know that I am as well sometimes, but he seems to default to that with you, I think. And I think you correctly, and we haven't gotten there in the clip yet, but you actually seem to correctly call him out. It's based in a fear of and I would say it's a fear of from his perspective, you're living an unusual lifestyle. What do you think about that?
He thinks I'm living an unusual lifestyle?
From his perspective, he clearly believes that, but I do think that he wants to come across. Look, this is my opinion. And
I'm also, yeah,
go ahead.
I'm way different than Yurt. I'm from a skateboarding culture. I got into hopping trains and traveling, and now it's like, the lifestyle I live now, that's just who I am. That's what I like to do,
Yeah, absolutely. And, there's a certain amount of freedom, in the way you're living. And this is what I was commenting on before you rejoined the stream, was that, your time is your own, but then you are choosing to spend quite a bit of time calling into these live streams. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I was sort of connecting that with a need. We all have a need for some sort of interaction, even if it's over a computer.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now I'm kind of psyched on these YouTube channels,
Yeah, it's me too. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
But I'll definitely get away from it. Like I can't be doing this. I guess I'll go through phases where it's like, all right, I'll chill out for a couple weeks and work. And because when I go to Montana, I gotta be working. I have to have money saved up. So I'm gonna be on the ball with work, but I guarantee I'll be back.
Yeah, and then with you actually literally living outdoors, it does become seasonal. I mean, it did for me anyway. So this does seem to be we're kind of in between the winter and the spring here. So it's like spring has not yet sprung, right?
Yep.
But as far as Yurt, I think just my opinion is, and actually this is what I was going to comment on before you read, and it's fine. We're just talking about it now instead of talking about it later. But it seems to me, I just interpret it as he has a fearfulness of your lifestyle, and then also the fact is a lot of these people in the so-called truth community, they really are normies, and there's nothing wrong with being a normie, but it's kind of difficult for me as someone who's lived a very similar lifestyle to yours to I understand that the normie, they're going to feel a lot of fear and trepidation about someone such as yourself. Whether it's warranted or not. Or am I making sense?
Yeah, no, yep.
Yeah. So that's how I see it. I don't think it's an ill will, but there's certainly, and like I say, sometimes I'll start to go into that. It's a patronizing facetiousness is how I see it. I do some version of that, but to me, that's more of the shtick of trying to do an actual show versus he seems to default to that, in his interactions with you instead of, and you seem to always want to come back to the authenticity, but, the person who's living the way you're living, it lends itself to like, look, this is what it is. It's all out in the open. You can't really pretend to be something you're not when you're living that lifestyle versus on the internet. We can all kind of, if we want to, we can kind of create our own fucking universe and our own persona, I guess. But you're like living the raw fucking in the streets version. That's how I see it.
And what I'm saying about women is it's like you're around all these different women and you finally find one that you have the same interests. You like her personality, she likes your personality, right? So
Sure, yeah.
that's what I'm getting at. Like, I haven't found a girl where it's like psyched on and it's a damn good fit,
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm getting at. And
No, I
he's
understand.
like, oh, it's not finding. Yeah, it is finding. You're trying to find, you're striving to find a woman that you mix well with.
Well, but in a specific context, which is raising children also. Because like my parents managed to stay together. I had both of my biological parents in the home. My dad was a workaholic, but he came home every night. So I do agree with Yurt when he talks about the amount of work that has to go into keeping the relationship on a firm foundation. But I would interpret that as more for the children. I think if you remove the children, like, are the two people really going to put all that effort into staying together? But that's just my opinions, and I am a bit jaded and bitter in some ways. But Yurt is here in the chat, and always good to see him. Now, I see Glenn maybe possibly getting a little defensive here about define a normie. Well, I mean, normies define themselves through their actions, is what I would say. And, I don't feel like it's something to defend, It's just, I come at it more from the opposite is that no matter how society is structured, you're always going to have people who are unable to conform. So I look at it more as not as what's a normie, but like, look at the fact that we have certain folks who, no matter what they do, like, and I'll just talk for myself. I don't want to speak for JG. Like, I'm always unable to fully conform to what society expects of me.
Yep.
And the normie seems to be at least able to conform to those things. But then, I think that's where you start hearing the people say like, many men lead lives of quiet desperation. It's like, I understand that not everybody, it's very disorienting to go against the herd. It can be very fearful, but some of us don't care. Like some people really don't give a shit if we're kind of, off on our own, right? Like apart from society at a social level and just, always appearing weird and strange, but that's not it. And what I'm talking about with Yurt, he's saying that, I want to read this real quick. He said, let's see, is this it? He said, JG does
Fuck, man,
have
you're
a non.
breaking up.
Am I breaking up? Fuck. Am I back?
Yeah.
I should have stayed where I was. I had rock solid internet and I moved locations earlier.
Yeah,
But,
me too, but it's getting all weird.
oh, fuck. Well, let me, no, I'm now Andrew. Now, see, now I'm getting called out. I'm just, let's back up here. It was merely a observation that may not be correct. Now the audience is turning on me somewhat. Uh-oh. But I want to read this comment. JG does have a non-typical lifestyle, but I don't look down on it at all. I'm more talking about within your interactions. Almost, this is just my perception. Maybe I'm totally wrong. That's absolutely possible. Just like almost a fear of just like accepting him for who he is, I guess is what I'm saying. But I could be very wrong. I do tend to talk out of my ass at times. So,
Well, what
is
I'm
this the moment?
saying might really,
Yeah, go ahead.
it might really be pissing people off. Like they're catching feelings, Like what I'm saying is triggering them, and they're taking it personal. kind of like when you call out religion, they take it so personal. You know, it's like you're destroying their delusions, and they're getting pissed off and offended, and they take it the wrong way. You know, they're not open minded; they're closed minded.
Yeah, and
Right?
now,
You heard me?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's all
Well, now
psychology,
you're,
right?
yeah. Well, Yurt has astutely said, "If I let your views ride without challenge, I'm being inauthentic and fearful." Yeah. Well, I mean, possibly. What's happening, EBT? Oh, hey, here's Glenn. Fantastic. I love it. Glenn, come settle my hash. What's
How's it
happening,
going?
brother?
Yeah, not bad. You?
Oh, doing great. Are you an Aussie or New Zealander?
No, I'm from England, aren't I?
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir. Good to see you.
Yeah, no, I was just asking a question. Do you know what I mean? Because like most people I'd perceive in this kind of community, they're not normal.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's probably true, or we wouldn't be on the internet talking about conspiracy theories
Well,
and such. So yeah, it is a bit of a self-selecting group in that way. I would agree. Yeah.
But I get what you're saying about like relationships and all that kind of stuff. Because like, I'm not blowing smoke up his ass, but like I think like the way JG is living is pretty like admirable. Do you know what I mean? Like, because how many of us would want that kind of freedom? Do you know what I mean? It's just the fact that like people don't want to live on the street because they've got
It
houses.
sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it
Like
sucks.
I don't know. Like the most I know is I've been in a band and I've toured the country. So like I've lived out of like a minibus, do you know what I mean? And slept on people's floors, and that's not exactly glamorous.
No, it sucks. Yeah, there's for me, what it came down to is I was willing to trade the discomfort and the shittiness for specific things I wanted to get at the time. And maybe JG's doing a version of that. I can't really speak for him, but yeah, it sucks. I mean, any way you slice it, it sucks. So I try to myself, I kind of have a unique compassion for having done it for such a long period of time. Like I sort of know where he's at a lot of times just because it fucking sucks, man, to be out there just exposed to everything all the time. Like there's really like, yeah, his time is his own and he's kind of by himself, but then like he's right there on fucking center stage. And I think that's where some of this, oh, they're looking at me, they're driving by. It's like it does feel that way because like he's always out there on center stage on the main stage. He's never like behind, in his house all day because he doesn't have a house. Does that make sense? Or
No, yeah, it does. Yeah.
I'm just rambling. But I'm glad you came up, man, because I never know. Like, I don't ever want to push people like out of their comfort zone.
Also, the other thing I don't think. Sorry, the other thing I don't think people understand is like skateboarding and like music, that it is an elitist thing. Do you know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
there's a lot of like backstabbing and bullshitting behind your back and like smiles to your face, and then just like, do you know what I mean? So there are kind of sides to the things that people don't understand because they haven't had like you're saying, like the personal experience of the situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a backbiter world, man. It's all backbiters, you know. And I'm a threat to all these backbiters because they know how I get down, you know.
I thought it was quite interesting last night. I was just listening to like Truth or Cop stream earlier, and the equating of skateboarding to a martial art. Like everyone wants to hand wave dismiss a skill, but in order to gain the skill, you have to be dedicated enough to follow through to get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The homeless thing, right? I'm not going to be homeless my whole life, but I like to. It's like I'll like to get a room for rent for a couple months, and then it's like I get that stoke to travel and live and sleep outside and go city to city. You know, that's just part of my lifestyle. But then I'll go back and get a room, and then I'll leave, and then I'll get back to work. Like that's just how I like to live. And somebody could try to pin that and twist that for being
Yeah, calling you a
something
bum.
negative or bad. Yeah, like oh, he's doing that because he's this or that, like he's psychologically whatever, But that's on them. Like they're trying to
Put you in a box.
manipulate me. Yeah, don't box me in. That's a great song, by the way, by Stuart Copeland. If you ever see Rumblefish, that song plays in Rumblefish. It's called "Don't Box Me In." There's a lot of good psychology in that movie.
So, Glenn, what
I'm
what
homeless.
compelled you to call in? Was it the me talking
Oh
about
yeah, no,
normies?
yeah, it's just it kind of like comes across as like you can't like like text, you can't judge someone's motive or their emotion or whatever behind it. Do you know what I mean? It's just words on a screen without any
Hey,
kind of
Glenn.
vocalization. And there's no way you can
Yeah,
you can take it any way you want. Do you know what I mean?
sure, yeah. No, you're right.
I was
I
just
just
asking you what you think a normie is.
yes, yeah.
Can you turn your
Uh,
volume up, Glenn?
As best as I can. I'm talking through my iPad at the moment.
Okay.
Is there any way to turn the mic off on it?
I don't know. If I knew how to use this, I could probably turn up your volume, but I don't know how to do that.
What about here? What about now? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've turned it up all the way.
Yeah, you're good.
Awesome.
And he's outside on the speakerphone also, so there's always that.
That's the only way I can talk to you guys. It's only through a speakerphone.
Yeah, EBT said good morning, vagrants. Yes, good morning, vagrants. Fantastic. Well, and I don't have all the answers. Sometimes I'll say things and I don't understand that it's going to be offensive to people or that they're not going to like it. But I kind of like the pushback also, like, by the way, if I'd never said that, maybe Glenn never, joins, right?
I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, but now maybe I'm just rationalizing my bad behavior. But no, it's great. I think the more that people do this sort of thing, and I've talked about many times that increasingly most of us don't have these outlets in our daily lives. So, the more we can at least have a human conversation or over a virtual format, I think it can be very helpful.
Yeah, like I've heard you say many times, you haven't got any friends. I haven't really got any friends. Like I live with my girlfriend, and that's about the only human interaction I get.
Yeah. How's that going? Has
I
it been
just
a
thought
while?
about this.
Oh, go ahead, JG.
Nah, my fault. I came in
No, you're good.
at a bad time.
No, that's my
I
specialty is not knowing when to talk.
think people love this drama bonding because they love manipulation, right? They love to play games. And that's one thing I see with Yurt is he sees my comments and then acts like he doesn't see them. Then he says, "Oh yeah," he'll say, "Oh, he'll read my comment." Like he was doing phony shit last night. So I just sat back and kind of watched the phony shit he's doing.
Yeah,
He's
but you
put me
think
on the back burner. And then he's acting like, "Oh yeah," he just starts reading the comment. Like, kill the bullshit, Yurt. Come on, man.
he is also presenting a thing on YouTube? Do you know what I mean? Like Benton will attest to this. I'm pretty sure that like he needs to be like the presenter. Do you know what I mean? So he has to have like a certain kind of way of coming across. Do you know what I mean? So
I understand
he's
still putting.
You know what I mean? Like if I was to go on stage and play a gig, like I can't just stand there, or I can, but like to just stand there and look at my feet wouldn't do anything for the audience. Do you know what I mean? As much as they want to listen to the thing, they want to see the band into what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Or whether that's headbanging or jumping around like a nutcase. Do you know what I mean? Like
There's always a performative element.
Yeah, like when you're skateboarding.
What I'm getting at is over time I've seen that he does phony shit and he does stuff that's kind of not genuine and it's a put on.
But do you think he knows that? Like half of these things when people say, "Oh, they've got like
yes.
a tact."
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Like people act out of their like subconscious quite often.
Yeah, he's kind of stuck in that way of being. My cousin would do it. My cousin PJ would do shit like that all the time. So like what Yurt's doing, it's like I'm having flashbacks to my cousin.
Because from where I'm sitting, like watching like last night, he's like probing for. He's just asking questions. If you ask me, do you know what I mean? Like for the kind of content that he's putting out. I'm not here to defend him. Like you can do whatever you want.
You got to analyze him better.
What was that?
He said you have to analyze him better. I mean, I think JG's making a point, but at the same time, like, you know,
it ain't that
if
deep.
that is well, if we can find a fault with somebody, to me, it's like, so what? Like, I'll still interact with that person. You know, like, I still enjoy the content.
Yeah.
I like the live streams, you know, so. Certainly, maybe we're just being, maybe JG's being overly critical here, and then maybe I just like to talk about it. So here we are talking about it.
Yeah, but I think everyone thinks they're right in their own head. Do you know what I mean? And like, I think I'm quite lucky in the fact that I've always been able to see both sides of a story. Do you know what I mean? Or both sides of the thing, so I can kind of put myself in a position. But a lot of people, I don't think, do that.
Yeah.
Right on. I think he's a cool, you know, I like having JG around, and there was a lot of, did you see any of the live streams from last night, Glenn?
Which ones?
There was a Truth or Cop official, and then also In a Yurt with Books, the one that I was playing part of it earlier.
Yeah, so I watched all of Yurt's stream last night, and I saw a bit of Truth or Cops this morning.
Okay.
I thought that was quite interesting, the kind of back and forth on there between everyone.
Yeah, yeah. And I think also the drama bonding seems to be what I refer to. Well, I refer to it as the cacophony of intransigence. It seems to be like people are now getting to where they can disagree and have conflict, but without just yelling. And I'm one of the worst at that, obviously, you know, without just yelling at the person. It does seem I am seeing maybe some evolution over time, possibly. I just realized.
Yeah, definitely. I thought I could see that last night, the way Ken Before the Storm and JG were like talking. Like it was like the stuff hadn't really kind of happened before. You wouldn't, if you didn't know about it, you wouldn't.
Yes.
You wouldn't protect it.
Yeah, and then I think the older we go ahead, JG.
The first couple times I talked to Kim, like he's doing all this shit that's, you know, out of line, and that's what was pissing me off. And he finally like chilled out, so now I can actually talk to the guy.
Yeah,
he seems like he's kind of he's chilled out, but he's you know, calmed down, like he's cool as jets. He's not.
Yeah, he's also not dismissing.
He's not being a douche. Yeah, he was being real disrespectful, and he like, I guess he might see it now, but the shit he was saying, how he was saying it, his tactics, it's like, dude, you're you know. But that's the past, you know.
Yeah, he just wouldn't even let you talk, basically. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how bad it was, and that's trust me.
Yeah. And I would say about Yurt talking about lots of contradictory demands out here. I would say, you know, for me, only speaking for myself, that's kind of, it's key for me to avoid. And this is kind of where me and Kim got into some issues, is I'm going to avoid anybody trying to put demands and expectations on my behavior. Like, and ultimately the way I look at it is, if I can have a group of online internet friends, and then, you know, if my role is that I'm willing to start live streams because I like to talk, and, you know, I feel like it's a creative outlet for me, and then other people can sort of build together. Like, I think that's just better for everybody. But then there's going to invariably be conflict. And, you know, I like the conflict some of the time, me personally.
The thing is, though, it's like your content, it's Yurt's content. Like, who is anybody to come tell you what you need to do? Like, if I was to write a song, I'm not going to write a song thinking, oh, what's this person going to listen to? I'm going to write something that sounds like the kind of music I want to listen to. Do you know what I mean? And like, if someone else likes it, great. But like, it's the fact that like now that people can voice their opinion basically straight away. Like you don't have to accept what they're saying. Do you know what I mean? Based on your own convictions. Like someone can openly criticize, and that's be critical, and that's totally fine. But again, that's just like a matter of taste and perspective.
I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah,
Razvan, I'm from a different culture, man. I'm from a whole different world, man. Like, I'm not your friend that passed away. I'm from a way different background, and I have different motives, and I like to live this way.
For now, like he recognized, and then I do recognize
If you can't understand that, like I'm telling you exactly the truth, and if you can't understand you.
Well, you know, maybe he doesn't want to understand. I don't know.
Yeah, that's closed-minded.
Yeah, there'll never be progression if people are acting like that, though, will there?
Well, I guess it depends on what we're trying to progress to, or if there's people, if I say we, who do I mean by it? See, it gets very, and I think the language causes a lot of problems. Like, I think there's a lot of assumption of, well, of course, there's a group of people and they want to all kind of do the same thing, but I don't necessarily see that.
Yeah, but I'd say a little thing like a few weeks ago, I was having a thing with Razvan in the comments. I was calling him a religious zealot.
Yeah.
And he taking that in the way that I meant he was religious in the conventional kind of way. But he was like pushing the NPC thing and saying, oh, they've got no souls. Do you know what I mean? And all this kind of thing. So he's just pushing a religious idea, but it got lost in the translation because maybe he doesn't actually understand like what a religion is. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sure. No, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like before, the English language seems to be made to be confusing.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Yeah, absolutely. We're about to bring you on, JG. Just finishing up that point. He drops off sometimes. Here you are, JG.
Yeah, my fault. I'm in a bad spot.
Yeah, but I mean, but now that JG's back to the, we saw that he's his sunglasses. I mean, certainly we can recognize that and this is the only point I'm making about the fear, is that if Yurt is trying to put out a certain type of content, and then JG with his glasses, if that's putting out like a contrary image that Yurt doesn't want to be associated with, maybe I'm just incorrectly ascribing that to fear, just because I personally don't care if somebody tunes in and sees his sunglasses. But Yurt may also not care, and I think this is the point he was making. He also may not care, but he's trying to curate a certain specific image for his channel that is actually going to be confusing to anybody that the algorithm. Well, I mean, if you think about it, if the algorithm pushes somebody out and they see that, a certain type of person is never going to stick around, right?
But then that's the problem with taking things at face value, isn't it?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. See, I personally, it's almost like I don't want those people. I don't really want those people around. And I think that's where I got into, they're normies, right? It's my own sensitivity to, it's like, what's the big deal that if that's how he likes his glasses, who cares?
Yeah, but he's obviously taking the piss, isn't he? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm also taking a piss because I'm kind of toying with Yurt because I see how he acts and what he does. So it's like, all right, I'm not going to manipulate you. I'm just going to have some fun, I'm just going to make a joke or something or do something funny, He's bringing that upon himself.
Well, I do think there's a certain.
I know what I'm doing.
I do think there's a certain code that JG has internalized that he seems to. He's going to adhere to it no matter what. But then other people like myself, I may share parts of that code, but not the whole thing. And then people like Austin, maybe parts of that code are being, JG wants to hold him to some standard, that, you know, it's either confusing or it's just like, well, this doesn't really apply. I mean, but my thing is I'm not going to let people apply standards to me anyway. So it really doesn't matter. But this is where we get into the normie thing. I think the normies are a little more sensitive, and this is just my opinion. I think so-called normies are a little more sensitive to what other people expect of them and are more likely to sort of want to know, okay, what's the expectation for me so I can meet that expectation versus someone like me that lived, you know, I lived outside for 6 straight years and that was neither here nor there what somebody expected of me. It just didn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? But before, in my old life, when I was living as a normie, I was more sensitive to, but I was faking it. I was very inauthentically trying to conform to society, but it was just impossible for me personally. And I'm doing
And it
much
was
better now
killing
that I really don't even care anymore. You know, it's just like, well, I know
and,
I'm
and
not
that
going to be able to, even if I try.
that kind of killed you inside, right?
Well, for me personally, it caused me a lot of problems. I'm still a fake person some of the time. I mean, I'll admit that, but like,
Well,
it
trying
was
to
more of just,
conform.
well, but I didn't have outlets for my actual creativity. You know, it wasn't even so much that I was being a fake person. It was that I was being a fake person to the exclusion of not being my authentic self as far as, you know, I think people who are creative types, I have to get, you know, part of this is good for me because I need an outlet for my creativity or I get really, I have a lot of issues emotionally if I don't, I need to create something. And then, you know, we can debate the merits of this as an art form, but this is art on some level, I would say, in
But yeah,
my
it's
opinion.
like the art of conversation, ain't it?
Yeah, in part, yeah, and then the exchange of ideas at certain times, but then, conflict, you know, an actual, you know, F you, you know, me and Kim cussing each other out or whatever, like, it's a microcosm of much of the human experience, I would say, you know, I don't wanna go like it's some great undertaking, but again, always tie it back into we're not really increasingly, we're isolated at IRL societal level, um and like you said, you know, a lot of us really don't have in real life friends anymore, it doesn't seem like. And is that a function of age? Is that a function of society, the way things have gone? Is it a combination? You
Well,
know,
I
I
think
recognize, go ahead.
the last few years have been the main thing that like flipped it all on its head. Like
Yeah,
before, it was kind of easy to interact with people that you've not.
sure.
I don't know. Like I don't really know how to explain it, but since then, like there's either people that see kind of what's been going on, or
Yeah,
there's people that either don't want to see, or they just totally can't. And it's obviously the people that can see. There's less of them, but not only that. Like there's like different brackets of the people that can see. Do you know what I mean? Like some people have been looking into this kind of stuff for 20, 30 years or whatever. Like what you're saying, like the baby truthers, like
yeah,
how can you win when there's people on a different scale? Do you know what I mean? And like you're trying to bring people up to you, but like you can't because they haven't got the capacity to do it. And it's nothing like against them or anything. It's just it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But then
yep,
like what I'll always go back to is like we're born here, we don't know what we're doing, we don't really know where we are. There's no objective truth that anyone really knows other than we're here in the world. Like, and now we're left to fill in the blanks by like either other people's ideas. Do you know what I mean? Like
yep,
external things, but like when deep down you really know what's right and wrong.
sure. So I think what you just described represents a disorientation that,
Yeah, but
but I think individuals are very much, they're very resistant and repelled by any sort of disorientation. So
that's
I do
cognitive.
think, what's that?
That's cognitive dissonance, though, isn't it?
Well, I think it quickly becomes that. Yeah, I think that's where we see some of and if I'm more on the autistic side of things, like it's causing me static in my life because of the cognitive dissonance that people are behaving in ways that really are illogical, right? So some of me living in the streets for all those years was just like, look, I have to figure this out or I'm not gonna fucking make it, you know? And I knew not to go into the mental health system. I said, you know, all they're gonna do is make a profit and ruin my quality of life and get me strung out on a bunch of meds, you know? And I knew that I wanted to avoid any sort of stigma as far as a background check. JG, we got a lot of. I got to mute you real quick just because of the background noise there, but what I've noticed in people, and this is completely human nature, is that a lot of what I'll say. So if we expect people to so-called wake up, I understand that the main reason that's not going to happen is it's too disorienting, and that they're already avoiding what you're talking about. Just, oh my God, what is this? What's going on here? But then here's the normie perspective: is like society's more than willing to provide a script. This is just go out there, become a taxpayer, serve the corporation. They dress it up, but they're supported through their peer groups. As long as their behavior and their attitudes conforms to everybody else's, then people are willing to accept them.
Yeah, definitely. But then the thing is once you break out of it, like what you've already said before, there's already a box ready made and line for you to just jump straight into. And it's like, like that game where you have to jump the frog across the leaves, across the
Frogger.
Yeah, it's just exactly like that, isn't it? But like back the other side of the river, the bank, the other side, is just like you can never get there until I personally think you can accept that, like, you don't know why you're here and you don't know what you're doing and you don't know where you are.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm having some audio problems on my end. There's a lot of static, so I apologize, but I think I cleared it up. I'm hearing it. I'm literally in a big rig. Go ahead.
You've been totally clear coming through.
Okay.
Here now.
I think it's my head. I think it's the headphone
port. A lot of static on my part. I have a good connection, but there is a lot of static on my end.
Yeah.
You guys are
anyway.
staticky.
Yeah, I just wanted to apologize for the audience because it was an interesting conversation, so I was a little dismayed to be hearing all that static. But yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think that's it's definitely things that are not, I think these topics are not really being discussed. I haven't heard them being discussed anywhere. And, no, I think it.
Sorry. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm here. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's not being spoken about anywhere. And if it is, it's kind of, but it's not really. I don't know. It just seems to be like, I've noticed in my life when I've tried to talk to people, it's just they'll go, "Oh, this is too deep for me." They won't even like entertain any notion of what you're saying.
That's the disorientation, in my opinion, because then now they have to reconsider, like, how does that resonate through the peer groups, and that it literally is a ripple effect through all of every aspect of their lives and their relationships, and that's just too disorienting. So in my opinion, look, I'm not saying I'm right, but I think I am. And then I see JG nodding his head. But then, like, is it really realistic for me if I'm able to just go ahead and live in the streets for 6 straight years and figure it out, is it really realistic and compassionate for me to expect other people to be able to do that? I would say no. In fact, it's, it's to my credit that I was able to do that. And I would say JG's probably doing his version of that. And there are people, and real quick, I wanted to say this about, like, if you look at somebody like Charles Bukowski, who more or less lived like JG did, except for back then, economically, it was a little easier for Bukowski to travel around, have a job, get drunk, and make enough money to just, like, live in a flop house here and there, and then wear out, presumably wear out his welcome and then go to the next town. But then he produced, this great poetry and these great writings, but at an advanced age. And I'm not saying that JG will or won't produce something of value. I'm saying that the potential exists. And me personally, I'm always optimistic at the level of an individual. I'm very pessimistic when you lump everybody together collectively. I have a lot of pessimism.
Oh, yeah.
Well, certainly, go ahead.
Sorry. People individually are quite clever, but once you get them in a group, they're thick as shit.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Oh, we got a lot of good comments. Let's catch up on the comments. I see shout out to Mitchell in the chat here. All right. Is that not the problem? You put yourselves above others instead of letting them find their way in the hierarchy of life, free will. You can't change someone's mind. Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree, actually. If you don't see eye to eye with someone you want to communicate with someone I want to communicate with, I have failed to communicate. Yep. See, Mitchell's he's gonna straighten us out. And this is one of my favorite things about Mitchell. I don't know if you've encountered him too much. He's really good at being insightful, but just sort of telling it like it is. It's certainly something I've appreciated over time.
Yeah, but that I know that kind of does. There is some like validity in that comment there, but like it is a two-way street, isn't it? Conversing with someone, like, and you can only do your best to portray what you're trying to say in terms that someone can understand, but like it's not your problem if they don't understand.
Yeah, I would agree with that also. Now, this comment I like, he said, stop looking for someone or something to blame for not getting what you want. What I would say is that everybody, whatever they're experiencing in life is, we all have circumstances. So whatever I'm experiencing is more or less the sum total of all of my choices over time. That's what I would say. So yeah, if I'm not getting what I say I want, I would say that's my fault, not somebody else's. But that's my opinion. It's not about, oh, Benton's going to figure out life and then he's going to go out here and preach some things and now people can. It's like I completely reject those notions of even, that's like a system. That's a man creating a system. I like Krishnamurti, who said was more or less like that's fucking bullshit.
But it's not your job to change the world. Do you know what I mean? It's like none of our jobs to change the world.
Well, but then the system seems to benefit from convincing people that they should, like, Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, Gandhi also told the British that if Hitler invades their country, they should vacate their homes. And so if Hitler wants to quarter his troops in their homes, they should leave their homes. And he said, if Hitler wants their children, just offer their children up to the slaughter to Hitler. Like Gandhi literally said that. So it's like, yeah, I understand that sounds, you can print that out and put it on your wall, be the change you want to see in the world. But like, I don't think that was the totality of the man's message. I would want to look into it further personally.
Well, from what I think, he's saying, don't be married to the world. You know what I mean? Like, don't be married to existence. Like what? Like this kind of sounds like down or whatever, but like,
Hey, sorry to cut you off there.
I lost my train of thought anyway.
Hey, Austin, I'm such a fucking boomer. I didn't see you down there on my.
No, and it's all good. I just only have 5 minutes, or I would have been more patient. But you guys got me up here saying what you're saying to put some counter views on the record. It's good to see you, Ben. I think we've had email discussions before, so it's good to put a face to the name. I just want to say a couple things here. One, I don't look down on anyone for any of their lifestyles. If anyone knew me more personally, to call me a normie is a very funny thing to say. To hear be called a normie when I'm the furthest thing from it is very funny. But I'll take it no matter what, because it is what it is. But specifically to you, JG, saying you think you're playing some game with me by wearing your glasses the way you are. I could care less how you present yourself in a physical way with glasses, no glasses. I have a goofy haircut and all my own sort of issues as well. I only booted you out of that thing when I went to the tarot card because you were making goofy faces and I'm trying to connect and do something semi-serious with the new person and show them respect because we might be talking about details of their life and it just works better when I go one-on-one. I'm also attempting to cultivate a better conversation where we don't have a whole panel of people that are just yelling over each other and all that, and there's no back and forth and there's no conversation. Now, as me being phony, you're saying contradict. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Benton. I'm not trying.
No, you go ahead. I reacted and didn't even really mean to, but go ahead.
Okay. You're saying I'm being phony, right? But then you're also telling me not to, manipulate you, not to psychoanalyze you, and you don't really seem open to other people's opinions. So then when I fall back and I allow whatever to be what it's going to be and keep my opinion to myself, it's then you're being phony. And as you do this more and you talk to more people, you realize I hear people saying the exact, I have the same exact amount of people saying the exact opposing views all the time. So some people love the drama stuff. Some people say they just want the more information focused stuff, right? And if we're going to talk about phony, I think it's phony to be engaged in low-level sort of middle school insults with people on the internet that don't really mean shit like you're engaged in all the time. To me, my most authentic is being a free thinker and being open to other people and other people's ideas. I think it's super phony to be down there calling people all sorts of names and saying you're going to do all this and you would do all this sort of stuff to them. I think that's phony, man. So that's
Okay,
my general ideas here.
You think that's phony? Okay, well, you have done phony things, and I notice it, so I do call you phony. And the shit I'm saying to CBO, right? The whole violence thing. Yeah, I would hurt that guy. So that ain't phony one bit.
Saying that on the internet, and I accept. Well, not to cut you off. Go ahead, JG. I don't want to cut you off.
It's just, what does that achieve, though?
What does it achieve if I hurt CBO?
No, like the words you're saying. Like, what does it achieve?
Yeah.
Say it again.
What does it actually achieve? You know what I mean? Like, where do you get by saying that? Like,
What, saying I would hurt him?
yeah, but if you want to shut him down, like, just don't care what he says, basically. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know he's trolling you, so just ignore it.
Right.
You're kind of breaking up. He's troll. He was disrespectful from the gate, right? And I noticed his games and his tactics, right? And you know,
but JG, specifically,
he's asking for trouble, man.
Because it's me. I'm here with you right now, right? Do you not see that you're calling me phony because I'm trying to run an open panel where people can have conversations? But if I just browbeat you with my personal opinions on every little thing, you'll say I'm manipulating you and trying to change you. So do you see you're putting me in a situation where I can't win that way?
You do phony stuff.
You just keep saying that. Answer the question I said, man. If I run an open conversation where I don't browbeat you with my opinions, you're calling me phony. If I just give you all my opinions and tell me what every little reaction I have to everything you say and do, you're going to say I'm manipulating you. So you're putting me in a situation where I can't win. I can't please you.
You do phony things, right? Last night you saw my comments, and then you start reading them like you just see them. That's phony.
You understand things are going on in real time. It's just not me and you in the thing. There's a bunch of people making all sorts of comments. And dude, I can read the comments whenever I want to. I can share them whenever I want to or not. So you're doing a double standard, JG. You're asking me not to manipulate you and control you, and then you're trying to manipulate and control how I run my broadcast?
Your
broadcast.
Dude,
yeah, it is a broadcast, though, ain't it? Like I agree, AG. Like, I agree with you on Truth for Cop being corny and phony, right? But he's just doing a bit for entertainment. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's on YouTube, which is an entertainment platform. Like, you can't expect people to be here just acting like normal. Do you know what I mean? When they're trying to present like an idea or a thing, because they're trying to engage with you in a particular way. Do you know what I mean? Like what you just said, like there's more than just you in the watching it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just calling him out. I noticed a little bit of phony stuff he does. That's all it is, man.
Check this out, JG. I don't care what you call it, man. You can call it stupid YouTube shit. You can call it a broadcast. That's why I call it several different things. You think I care? You think I really take this all that serious, man? That I really think this is something big and important?
Dude, I'm just calling you out on a little bit of the phony shit you do.
Right. And I'm calling you out on the phony shit you're doing right now by saying, oh, I don't want to do drama bonding. And then you're up in here creating a drama bonding with me right now. You're not self-reflecting, man. You're not seeing how you're participating.
I never said I don't want to do drama bonding, right? You're putting words in my mouth, right? So stop fucking doing that. I never said I don't want to do drama bonding. I said, keep going, Yurt.
Well, no, I think the problem is
basically said my point.
You're not being very clear with what you're saying. It's like,
and I've said multiple times that there's a level of phoniness just built in.
Keep going, Yurt.
I will keep going if you want. I can go all day. Hence why I turn this thing on and talk all the time. There's a level of phoniness, and I only got about 1 minute anyway. There's a level of phoniness built into these interactions. You don't really know who I am. You don't really know anything about me. And the same goes for you. I don't know who you really are, JG. I don't know anything about you, man. I don't know what you're really up to. I accept that. But I accept that and don't say that you're phony because of that.
I got to get on you for a minute here, man. This is what happened when CBO criticized your whole thing. You take things too personally and you get too defensive about trying. In my opinion, you get a little defensive when somebody says something. Sometimes you just got to let it slide.
Oh my God.
You get hung up. I see it every time.
Truther Cop, stop trying to stun me, okay? Look, CBO was out of line, and there's no problem with me having a problem with CBO.
He was criticizing me, okay? JG. He was saying, God dang it. And dude, I hear you, but that's the double.
I'm criticizing you because I noticed the phony things you do, man. And then you're just gonna say the whole.
No, Truther Cop was criticizing me. Truther Cop was just criticizing me, not you. And what I'm trying to say, Truther Cop,
it's breaking up.
The double talk I'm hearing. That's the double talk I'm hearing. So if I do what you say and let it slide, then I'm being phony. But if I come give my authentic opinion, then I'm reacting too harshly and being too sensitive.
You're letting it stick to you. You're letting his words stick to you.
Truther Cop, you have no clue if it's sticking to me or not.
But that's what it comes off as.
That's fine. I don't care what it comes off as.
I know, but I think that's what he's seeing.
That's fine. I don't care what he's seeing.
All right, man. Keep being phony then.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's what I'm saying. You got 3 aliases, right? Keep being phony. This is a phony ass thing. The fuck? I'm out of here.
You get mad when somebody calls you out on the phony shit you do, man.
Yo, I'm not mad at all. I'm up here engaging with what you're saying. I'm gonna shut this off and go about my business. That's it. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm trying to get you to see how you're creating contradictory standards on people. That's what I'm trying to do. Right? And see how that's built into this interaction. That you're giving people a no-win situation. There's no way I can please you. You're going to be upset about what I'm doing one way or another.
You're salty, man.
You see this shit, Benton? You see this shit? I'm salty and you're up here talking about what happened last night, right?
I'm getting static here.
You say I'm salty and you're the one rehashing what happened last night and talking about me this morning, but I'm salty.
Benton, you're on mute, mate.
I'm on mute. Yeah, a little saltiness is not a bad thing, I don't think.
Well, yeah, but do you see the unwinnable situation that presents to me?
He dropped off. I don't know if he's coming back or not, but
so I tried.
No, I saw it. I saw it as soon as it happened. Personally, I saw it exactly as it was happening. So I know exactly what you're talking about. My thing is just for me personally, I just won't engage with that stuff, and maybe that's why it doesn't come up with me and him. I don't really know, because I've certainly been phony and facetious at times for the effect of a broadcast, you know, almost
yeah,
like I'm fucking Johnny Carson and he's Ed McMahon or something.
Well, yeah, and sometimes I'm just humoring things to let it roll out. Like, I don't feel the need to browbeat everybody with my personal opinions all the time. I don't think that makes a great show or a great dialogue if my opinions are the only opinions that matter, right?
Well, yeah, well, that's just the echo chamber, right? Becomes the echo chamber. Yeah. Hey, we got the little one there.
Yeah, we'll give a brief little sign here. Say what up, dude. He's like, what are these crazy? Yeah, and calling me salty. I'm gonna get off this thing and go run my homeschool program and do a bunch of fun stuff today.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
I'm not tripped out by any of this.
But the thing is, but just let me just say something. But you saying that, it doesn't make you better than JG. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, not at all.
It's just, it is what it is. Like, you both got different priorities. Like, and that's just what it comes down to at the end of the day, isn't it? Like,
yeah. There's a sensitivity there, but do you see that, Glenn? So now I push back, right? If I let it slide, then what was said stands. But if I push back, then I'm acting like I'm better than somebody.
Yeah. But like, I think like JG is clearly intelligent. There's no two way about it. Do you know what I mean? But it's almost like he's doing the psychology thing on the outside world, but like he's not quite looking at himself properly, and that's like. It's not to dig the boot in on him or anything. Do you know what I mean? It's just an observation. Like, and like, these are the things when it's obviously with yourself, kind of like Ken before the storm the other day. He's not self-aware enough to see what's going on around him. Where, like what Benton's saying, is like he's just viewing reality with him in the middle of it. You have to put yourself outside of yourself and like look over your own kind of shoulder, if you know what I mean, to truly understand like yourself and everyone and how you are in that like dynamic.
Well, and real quick, I want to say that when you get, it seems to me like anytime you get a group of males together, there's always going to be some sort of hierarchical jockeying for position, no matter what. Like, that's just kind of what we do. And then it's something I've talked about
on me.
With the virtual form is that, you know, in the public space, it's a lot easier to do that. We have a lot more mechanisms through the body language and all of this versus in the virtual form. It's like, we're still gonna, I think, default to that jockeying for position. But, you know, I think it is, we don't necessarily know how to do it a lot of the time. That's just my opinion though.
And that's why you get all the talking over each other and not stopping to listen to what somebody else is trying to say to you, you know?
And I do get legitimately tripped out and a little confused where it's like people want to see me raging.
Hey guys, I'm
going after
static problems. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but you keep breaking up.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey, I muted you real quick, JG.
Yeah, just finish this. And I want to just say peace to JG. It's all good. This isn't real beef. This is a battle of ideas, and I'm open for it. But I get confused a little bit in myself in the sense that people want to see me raging and banging on people and banging on ideas. And then I get someone like Truthernatti, and my baby's telling me to cut it out. And then I get people like Truthernatti who are telling me to chill out and to let it slide. So again, there's these contradictory wishes and demands from people.
Yeah, but why are you trying to? You're coddling to other people's demands in the first place. Is what I don't understand. JG's laying out a board game here called "You're This Phony," and you're deciding to go in on it and play it. And okay. It seems like, but okay, it seems like it upsets you. You know, that's all.
Well, this is just my opinion. Well, but real quick, Austin, maybe there's something in there. I don't know, you got to go, but this is just maybe there's something in there that you're not aware of that you're responding to. I mean, I'm just saying it's possible. I can't speak for you. I'm only talking. I've noticed that in myself. So when I start chimping out, probably there's something in me that is resonating with that other person. And now here it has a chance to come out, but it was lying dormant, just waiting for the chance.
100%. But here's the tip. I got no problem saying that there are parts of me that are phony. That's
probably the point of contention. We haven't heard that until just now.
Oh, then people haven't been listening. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. That
Yeah,
the
they don't.
phoniness of
People
we're
don't listen.
all phony. We all have secret desires. We all have urges that aren't expressed. We all have insecurities. I nuked 2 channels out of insecurities. I have all sorts of insecurities, man. That's why I try to keep a level head and allow all ideas to express. No, I'm totally phony about stuff because I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to criticize. I don't want to bang on JG here and belittle him and point out every little flaw I can find in his character. I don't want to do that. So does that make me phony? Or does it make me phony that, part of me does just want to, destroy and run through things and all that, but then also at the end of that day would feel bad about that? Is that phony? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's real. No, that's
Yeah.
real.
So it's like,
But the other side
I'll
of the
get as real as people
I'm
want, but
having
it's still going
problems
to
with.
appear phony to someone.
Yo. Let me say something real quick while I got you
Yeah, go
guys.
ahead.
I'm having problems. It's staticky, so it's we can't communicate well right now. This is I got a bad connection, bad timing.
Well, all right, man. It's up to you if you want to stick around or not, but that's your choice.
No, I found a better spot right now, but the shit you're saying, it's like it's real spotty and staticky.
Okay.
Well, I'll end on the peaceful note. JG, do you hear me right now, or is this staticky?
I'm in a better spot now.
All right, man. I'm just gonna tell you. I hope you have a good day. To end on a peaceful note, I got no issue with you. You're always welcome to join my totally shitty YouTube, whatever the hell this thing is that I do. I got no beef with you, and you can keep calling me phony all you want, man. But it's that whole thing. All criticism is self-criticism, right? So make sure if you're gonna hold me to a standard, make sure you're holding yourself to the same standard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to keep calling you on the phoniness that I see.
Yeah, I just said that. I encourage you to do that.
All right, shake hands and
Yeah. It's so funny, man. And Truth or Cop, how dare you?
Why call your YouTube channel shitty? Why call your YouTube channel shitty? Now you're getting
it's so
you're getting pissy and calling your own shit.
Oh my god, I'm out of here. Peace and power to everybody. It's such goofy ass shit, dude.
Thanks for stopping by, sir. Yeah, that's not a rage quit. Just since Kim before the storm didn't seem to understand. That's a not a rage quit. I had a point. I forgot.
What was he saying with the drama bonding? He's saying that I don't like drama bonding. I never said that. Right? He's putting words in my mouth.
I don't know, man. I can't say. I do want to say that you seem to be involved with a little bit of you seem to be a bit of a pedant, as I myself am at times. Pedantic. Are you familiar with that term?
No, I've heard it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Well, tell me what it is. If you're going to ask me, tell me what it is.
I'm looking it up. A person who is excessively concerned with minor details and rules or with displaying academic learning. Not so much the academic learning, more of the excessively concerned with minor details part. I have this as well, by the way. It's really good in some instances. Sometimes it can kind of take over, especially if somebody's maybe stressed out, which you do seem to be. Do seem to come across as a cool customer for the most part. But I just remember when I was living a certain type of lifestyle, there can be a bit of a crankiness involved at times. Just but
yeah,
I know you've said that doesn't apply to
I had
you.
really bad connection.
All right, I feel you, man. Well,
I had really bad connection there. It was spotty. All right, I'm trying to talk, man.
Go for it.
I had really bad connection there. It's spotty. It's real shitty. So it's just in and out. I'm getting frustrated with that, and I'm good now. I have a good signal now.
Fantastic. Would you like to have the floor, or should I talk some more?
No, man, you got it.
Oh, I feel like I've rambled quite a bit on this so far. I don't know what happened. Yurt dropped off and we lost like half the viewership, but that's all right. It is a momentous occasion since Glenn joined us. Hopefully, you join us in the future, Glenn. I'm hoping that you do anyway.
Yeah, well, now I've broken the duck. Yeah, definitely.
That's right. Have you done these sort of things in the past, or is this the first time?
No, I've been watching. I was watching Yurt's stream ever since he started, and I've been debating trying to jump in, but then like part of me just thinks I just can't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? And then I've been like back and forth because like what you say, like it's hard to find people to talk to on this level. Do you know what I mean? And like the other day when you were streaming for 9 hours, I was basically listening the whole time.
Awesome.
Even though, do you know what I mean? Like I sometimes can't be asked to get in the chat. Like it just seems pointless sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And it just until that kind of little misunderstanding about what we were trying to say about a normie that you could only kind of clear that up with listening to someone's voice, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, if you guys listen to me long enough, I'll offend everybody at some point. I mean, I pretty much promise you that. You know, and I think that's something, you know, I don't want a consensus. I don't want everybody to agree on everything. And that's something Drew's been really good at, I think, is that he doesn't really tolerate a lot of that sort of thing anyway. And I think that's how some of these communities sort of devolve into more cultish, you know, type of echo chambers and just this cult-like behavior is.
It's not the leader that creates the cult. It's the people in the cult that create the cult.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yep. Precisely. Yep. So if the leader just won't tolerate that, then it can never get to that point. And not that even that I'm a leader, I'm just a person talking, but I just mean like in the example of someone who's the one running the show or the actual, you know, the protagonist or the catalyst. That's a better term. You know, if the catalyst for it doesn't feed into it, then it can't really ever metastasize. The way I would look at it. So that's me. Like say, and you know, I am sensitive to now. I said normies, and now the chat is fucking revolting on me. It's like, well, wait a minute, you know. But part of me just wants to be like, yeah, fuck y'all, you know. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not cool. Go ahead. What? What'd you say, JG?
So Yurt was saying that it's kind of phony what I'm saying about CBO, like me saying I'll hurt CBO, right? He's saying that's phony. What is he doing right there?
Yeah, but it is a bit phony. It is corny.
He's saying,
do you know what I mean?
He's saying it's phony.
But
phony is different than corny.
Yeah,
corny is Yurt's haircut. Phony is
fake.
Phony is different. Phony is me like acting like I'm not hearing you guys right now. Oh, I'm not hearing you guys too well. Like if I'm really not. I wasn't hearing you guys too well, but I could be phony about it and be like, you know, if I had a great connection, right? But I'm acting like, oh yeah, I can't hear you guys. Well, it's all static. That's fucking phony. All right, that's what I'm saying. So he's saying the shit. I'm being phony, saying that I would hurt CBO. Get your fucking words right, man.
Well, yeah, that's what it's come down to, isn't it? The wrong words. Like to be like listening to you saying that to Drew. I mean, it sounds to me, it sounds pretty lame. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get why you need to go to that level.
It might sound lame to you, but it's not phony. So why is he's using the wrong word? So it's on him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but like, why are you all hung up on it?
Well, this is the pedantic aspect.
Hung up on it. See, why even say I'm hung up? Why say I'm hung up on it? All right, I'm noticing that and I'm pulling it out.
Yeah, but we wasn't talking about that then, and you just wanted to go straight back to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you tend to have a thing where
back to it.
Yeah,
my head and I'm making sense right now. Making sense right now.
Oh, you're definitely making sense. We're more talking about that you're focused on it, which is fine. It's fine that you're focused on it.
Like, no one's trying to change anyone here. Do you know what I mean? And if they are, they're just totally wrong.
That would be a fool's errand.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, Yeah, definitely. It reminds me of that movie Half Baked. It's like, fuck
Everything's phony now.
you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. Like it just reminds me of that, like can we say fuck you and still be friends? I guess that's the question. See, I think we can.
It seems
I
like
think
it
that's
because everyone
possible.
keeps coming back.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, where's he going to go? I mean,
Well,
I'm not trying to
exactly.
be a dick, but like let's be honest, man. Like just like just like most of us don't have outlets for this sort of interaction. JG doesn't seem to either. But then like I said, he's on stage out there, man. I'm holed up in the sleeper cab of a truck here. I'm, somewhat protected.
I'm cool, man. I keep to myself. I stay away from people.
Well, except for when you go on the internet and talk to us. I mean, we are people, right? I mean, I'd like to think so. I had a homeless, not you, but I had a person I met on the streets told me one time that I was a figment of his imagination, and I really didn't have a counter argument. I said, well, shit, maybe I am.
Well, you stay away from that guy. Guys like that, you stay away from in real life on the street.
Yeah, I stayed away from him. But then I was involved in a community. I tended to get involved in these homeless communities at various points, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I can't do that. It's in my best interest not to.
Oh, I'm not advocating for that, certainly.
No, I'm just talking here.
Yeah. Well, it's like I believe you about the static because like right now my eyesight is so bad I can like barely read the chat. I really got to get some new glasses. You don't wear glasses, Glenn?
Nah, mate, I've got pretty good vision.
That's awesome. Yeah, I used to.
How long have you been a Jesus Christ impersonator?
Everybody knows Jesus wasn't
How many
white.
years?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he wasn't.
He was black.
He's a boy's son.
He's a black man.
Of course he was. Ain't been no white prophets. Let's be serious here. Let's really piss off the audience.
Black man Jesus.
Have you ever seen that program, Black Jesus?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
No.
Yeah, it's a TV show. Black Jesus.
Yeah, had Eddie Murphy's brother in it.
Oh, yeah, Charlie. Rest in peace, Charlie.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Well, shit, I was playing this. I was responding to Yurt's live stream, but JG kind of, I guess we hashed it all out here. It's like if I play it now, it'll just be redundant. So where are you at in the UK, Glenn? You're in England itself?
Yeah, Norwich on the east coast of England.
Okay. I never made it to England myself.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy city. It's got like a massive cathedral, like a castle in the town centre, like loads of medieval buildings. It's pretty interesting to walk around and have a look about.
Like some Gothic architecture?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that stuff. What's it called? How do you spell it?
Norwich.
Norweh?
WICH.
Oh, CH. Okay.
Norwich, if you was.
Oh, I see now. I got it. I got you.
Yeah, it's not a very big city, but it's got like quite a lot of there's shitloads of church, absolutely hundreds of churches around here.
I love going to new cities and just like wandering around the downtown.
Yeah, this street here has got like 4 churches along it.
Okay.
It's mad, yeah.
Yeah, see, I already see architecture. Like I could just walk around and like look at stuff.
Yeah, if you keep going down this road, this is where like all like the medieval stuff is on the right here. This building, it's like a museum.
Did I pass it?
Yeah, it's just on the right. If you went back there,
This
just
thing?
just past that little crossroad on the left. Like it was a yellow fronted building. If you go one more.
Oh, I'm so bad at this. That way.
Yeah, if you go that way, yeah, and just this yellow building immediately on the left.
This one? No.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. What is it?
It's a museum.
Oh, okay. What
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of museum?
All that stuff in the window is like their I don't know what you call that, propaganda or whatever.
Hey, give me just a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, there used to be a massive skate park around here that was in like a massive warehouse.
Okay.
But it's obviously it's not there anymore, and so somebody's tried to turn one of these old abandoned churches into like a little skate park.
Nice.
Was
Like
it called
indoor?
Radlands?
Oh, I can't remember.
That's kind of strange.
Yeah, my
Is that like
favorite
a
skateboarder. He's from Oxford, England.
Who's that?
His name's Tom Penny. He's from Oxford.
Oh yeah.
But
I've seen him. He's really good.
Yeah.
Didn't he have he had some problems like personal?
Oh,
I think he had some mental health
Bullshit.
issues.
You know about Tom Penny, Ben?
Of course I do. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't he have
Yeah,
some
well,
mental
he's
health
abused
issues?
drugs.
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy named Paul Alexander. He's from the UK, and he had a video on Vice where he's talking about his mental health, and he had a
Oh, that might have been the guy. Yeah, maybe.
he was getting delusional and schizophrenic. But Tom Penny, he's also kind of out there, but you know, is what it is. Still a great skateboarder, you know.
Yeah, I love skateboarding. I don't really know, like I can't really keep up with it now that I'm old, but I like to watch it sometimes. But
Yeah, it's all right.
It's been cool, gentlemen. I'm glad everybody got to come hang out, and hopefully, Glenn, you won't be a stranger. I'd like to see you in the future if that's something you want to do. But my work's calling me, so I told him to call me back in 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and end it there. But thanks again to everybody, and thanks for watching. Bye.